what we say. Don't hurt them, I'm coming. On the table, that was my half of the deal. In the briefcase, now we need 2 million We know who we are working for. Just say the word and MI5 break down the door. Don't trust him, he's bluffing. On the table, that was my half of the deal. In the briefcase, now we need 2 million more. Sky is falling. Here come the angels dressed in black. It's not quite clear who will live and who shall on the table, that was my half of the deal. In the briefcase, now we need 2 million more. On the table, that was my half of the deal. In the briefcase, now we need 2 million
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope you guys have had a really good week and that your weekend has started well as well. So, the report for Gremlins tonight is not a long report, but it is a bit annoying in that my phone is an Android phone and it's just updated itself with the operating system, and we all know what happens when that happens. It all starts going wrong. So what's happened is trying to log in to my email address as to get the PayPal donations that sometimes come through, but you don't have to donate, and I'll address that as always later. But it sends you a code, and then on my phone I put in the code, and then my phone asks for my fingerprint. So I put on my fingerprint. Normally it's absolutely fine, and then on the internet it says you put in the wrong code. I definitely didn't put in the wrong code. It's only 2 digits. Anyway, so I did it again. I did the fingerprint. It says you put in the wrong code. I definitely didn't put on the wrong code. So then I put in my alternate email address for them to send a code to. No email came through. So then finally I got them to text my phone just to prove that I am me. And they text me the code. I put in the code and it says, "You've tried too many times for today. Please try again tomorrow." So there you go. I guess this is the problem with, first of all, updating things, because it never used to not work when I did it before. So since the update on my phone, it means that it's obviously not registering that I am putting in the right code, or just you're pressing on the right number that it gives you to press on. So a bit annoying because I can't get into my email address, which means I'm going to have to try and do it on my phone. If anything comes through, I will have a look at the inbox there and hope that it updates and that I can read messages and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it is a little bit silly. And I mean, this is what's a bit annoying about all of the security stuff, that I am genuinely me. And I'm genuinely trying to get into my own email address, and it's ended up in me not being able to do that, even though I am me. So it is a little bit frustrating. But anyway, let's get the names of my patrons up on screen, because they make this all possible in the first place. A huge thank you to you guys. You know who you are. And their names go across the bottom of the screen throughout the live streams on a Tuesday and a Saturday, as regular viewers will know. Let's get the likes goal up on screen as well. We are aiming for 430 for tonight. And if we do hit that target, we're going to be having a go at Phil Jam number 253. It is for tonight. So I will get the lycometer up on screen once I set up the screen capture for it, because the problem was, of course, trying to get into my email address was taking ages. Probably took between 10 and 15 minutes, and then not eventually being allowed in. So and all of that time was wasted. But anyway, I've now set that up so we can see that we are at 200, which means we're looking for 230 more people to hit the thumbs up. So if you could do that, be much appreciated. That made the maths really easy for me tonight, which is great. That's a good sign. Now, the other thing about this update on my phone, I'm sure earlier that the battery was going down more quickly than it normally would, but I'll have to test that over the next few days. I did check on the internet, and some people said that they were experiencing a really quick battery drain with the new operating system, but yeah, we will have to see. Updates always make things worse, unfortunately, and I know that things have to get updated in order for things to progress and move forward. But what I will say is that back in the day, you had, I mean, really back in the day, I'm talking about dial-up, where your internet had to dial a telephone number, and you heard it go dee-doo-doo-doo-doo, and you had to wait for it to connect. So in those days of the internet, whatever you had loaded on screen, first of all, the stuff that loaded on screen would come up in sections. So it kind of do the top part, then it would do the next part, and then it would do the next part. Say, for example, it's a picture of a guitar. It means that, I can't remember, it might have started from the bottom going up. So it means that you might see, yeah, the body of the guitar, and then you're gradually getting one line at a time as the information is effectively coming through the phone wire. So anyway, the point is that back in those days, the internet was fine. And in order to update things, I mean, I know that people now, when you go on a website, you've got videos that are playing and things that are moving and, you know, flashing lights and all this kind of stuff. And all of the updates have been required in order to have that, to make things on screen just look a bit more fancy. Whereas I'm not bothered about things looking fancy. I just want them to work. So they might do an update that means that your phone doesn't work anymore, but they say, oh yeah, but we've updated it because it means now you can have two videos playing on the website in the background when you're reading an article. It's like, if I'm reading an article, I just want the text. I don't want other videos playing at the same time. And that sometimes happens when you're trying to read an article and there's a video going off in the background and you've got the audio to that video and you're trying to find, well, where's this video? Where's this coming from? I need to stop it so I can concentrate on reading. But anyway, that's enough ranting about modern technology, because modern technology is good when it works. That's the important thing to point out. When it doesn't, it's an absolute pain. Right, anyway, let's have a look at you guys in the live chat room tonight. We have Charlie and Heavenly Presley, Ro, Daisy, Ninja, Kitty, D, and Jonathan, Joe, Melody Rocks, Guy, Johnny, Karen, Laura, Michael, Bob is in there as well, Rose S, Jennifer, Mimi321, and it's going through too quickly for me to keep up. So hello. Thank you for joining me, and if you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated, because we are aiming for 430 likes tonight to have the jam at the end of the live stream. Now, something that happened on Thursday, which means I'm quite a bit behind with messages and lots of other things, because on, was it maybe Tuesday or Wednesday? I can't remember, but Jeff Scott Soto has been here in England, and more specifically in London, doing recording and videos and all that kind of stuff. And he was due to leave on Friday morning, I think like 7 a.m, something crazy. And then he's got a show in Bulgaria that he had to fly off to. So anyway, we were going to try and meet up somewhere at some point, because we said it would be cool, because Jeff's been on the channel in the past and we've never physically met in real life. So as he was in London, then I said, whenever he's free, just let me know, and we can go somewhere, do something. Anyway, his videos, I think that he was shooting, ran over one particular day when he thought he'd have the whole day off, but then he didn't have the day off. So it might have been on Wednesday. Jeff said, I've been invited to the Lita Ford gig tomorrow night, and he didn't want to go by himself, or he didn't plan on going, but he said that if I could make it, then we could go together, and say hi to Lita, because Jeff knows Lita, and also Vixen, the support band that were there. So on Thursday it meant that I went into London, and the traffic in London was crazy, because there were lane closures, there were roadworks everywhere, and because I'm outside the west side of London, the O2, which is where the show was, is kind of more central, if not kind of east. So it means I'm going to have to go all the way through London, through all of these closures and everything. So it took me ages to get there, but I did leave in plenty of time. So it meant that I arrived about 6, and Jeff had been there probably for about half an hour, 45 minutes. But this is before the show. So we Jeff ordered me something to eat, because we just got a booth at TGI Fridays, and just had a quick bite to eat and a chat, and a drink or two. And obviously everybody knows that my drink is a Coke Zero. It was a Coke Zero at that point. So it's great to meet up with Jeff and chat about lots of things over a bite to eat. And he's got so many really interesting stories about going back to journey and recording and recording in studios, and also Ozzy Osbourne as well. We spoke about Ozzy, and some of the things that Jeff has experienced in the past with Ozzy and recording in the studio and all that kind of stuff. So really interesting. So anyway, we then got to the Lita Ford gig, and that was great. And you might actually be able to see, I've got the ticket, and I've actually still got it's just on the table here, the triple A pass thing, and that means that you can go anywhere and do what you want, which is always handy. And this is Bobby Dazzle as well, who were the first band on, and they were great. It was billed as a ladies' night, because Bobby Dazzle has a female front woman, and Vixen, who Jeff knows, they're an all-female band as well. Technically, there is a male keys player, but it's very much a ladies' night thing, obviously with Lita headlining, but it's great. And I tell you what, I have got a picture that I put on Instagram of myself and Jeff that we only remembered to take right at the end of the night. And I'm not very good at doing the whole social media taking lots of pictures thing. I think I would need somebody with me taking pictures, so that I then have pictures to show people. But anyway, I'm going to see if this appears on screen. anywhere. There we go. So this is the picture from, and just looking at it like this, we've got mostly this glass bit in the picture. But anyway, so yeah, here's myself and Jeff. And full disclosure, we did not previously discuss trying to emulate each other's facial hair. It's just something that happened naturally and organically. So yeah, I mean, pretty much when I've got facial hair going on, it just means I haven't had time to shave, and that was the case then, as it is the case now. But there's myself and Jeff, and yeah. Oh, have I got another picture here? I might have. Oh, here we go. So this is Lita on stage, but we're backstage at this time, and it's really cool because they have a TV that's showing the show, so you're getting to see the camera feed from the show whilst you're backstage, so you can hear the show going on outside the door, but you can also see it on that screen. So I thought I'd take a picture, and those are the only two pictures that I took. So there you go. Not very good at taking the pictures myself, but anyway, let's get rid of that and yeah, come back to here. And yeah, the other interesting thing was that Lita's manager, who's called Adam, he came out and said hi to Jeff, because they've known each other for a very long time. And Adam said to me, he said, "Why do I recognize you?" And I said, "No idea." I said, "I've got a YouTube channel and I do videos." He goes, "Oh yes," and he watches the channel, which was amazing. And yeah, I mean, the thing is, the things that you talk about in real life, I mean, it's great to chat to people in real life and get the background on different stories and all that kind of stuff. But you think, well, there are some things that you think, well, you can't just go announcing those things across the internet, because it's a conversation that it is private. But anyway, I will say that yeah, Adam watched the channel, which is great, and he had recently done some work, I believe, with a couple of the singers that sing with or have sung recently with Ken Tamplin on his live stream show thing that he did. So yeah, we talked a lot about that, a lot about the video and videos that I did. So yeah, that was all interesting, and it's great to get other people's points of view on things, but yeah, we were all very much on the same page, and I won't say any too much more about that, but yeah, an objective analysis and objective data is objective data. So yeah, people watch my videos, and Adam watching my videos knows exactly, because he's in the industry, he knows exactly what I'm doing on my channel and what the data means. So yeah, it's interesting to get, or just to have a chat with Adam. But anyway, yeah, a huge thank you to Jeff for inviting me down, and yeah, great shows all around on that particular evening on Thursday night. So it just means that I'm a little bit behind with answering messages, because normally I spend all day doing that on Thursday, getting the admin up to date. So I'm still not up to date with everything, but I will be. Hopefully, I was going to say over the weekend, and it's almost Sunday, so maybe on Sunday I'll try and do that. But I am planning on having a bit of a break so that I can watch the Women's Euros final, which I've made a mental note is kicking off at 5 p.m, I think. I'll have to double check, but I think that's what they said. So I'll try and leave that hour and a half or a couple of hours to watch that, because England are in the final. And yeah, outside those times, obviously got a video tomorrow at 8 as well, but I'll try and get into the emails and messages as much as I can. Right, now there's something else. It's the donations tab. I was going to say there's something else on the screen that's normally there, and I couldn't remember what it was. But you don't have to donate, just watching is great. So thank you guys for those that do donate. It is very much appreciated, but you don't have to for anything, for the live streams or the analysis videos. Just watching is an amazing thing in the first place. Subscribing, it is great as well. And if you could hit that thumbs up, and maybe leave a comment, that kind of thing, especially on the live streams. Introduce yourself as well. It really does help the channel to grow, and for these live streams to get out there a little bit more. So now I'm not having this PayPal screen on the left hand side is a bit off-putting, because I'm going to see if this is going to work here. So first of all, I'll address the donations that I can see in the super chat window, because we've had a donation from Paul, who's donated $5. So thank you for that, Paul. And the message is 494,000 subscribers. Very nice. Let's have fun tonight and spike the likes. All y'all rock. So thank you for that, Paul. And is this something that might have fallen by the wayside when I was trying to just log in to my email address? And yes, it was. I didn't do the subscriber count. Uh-oh, I've clicked on something that's incorrect. But let's see. Let's see if it actually appears. Yes, it did. Okay, we got there in the end. So yeah, 494,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing, and we'll keep on pushing forward and see where we end up. But certainly it's a very nice number, a ridiculous number so far, but a very nice number anyway, even if we were just to stop there. But anyway, thank you everybody for watching the videos and commenting, and yeah, requesting and tuning into these live streams as well. But let's get rid of that, because Orlando donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message was, all aboard the wings of Pegasus crazy train. Hit that like button. So thank you for that. And then there's some pictures, which I can't really make out what they are apart from the thumbs up. Paul has donated $2 as well. Thank you for that, Paul. Again, the message is, we need to have much fun tonight. So thank you for that, Paul. Timothy donated $4.99. Thank you for that. Jennifer donated $7. Thank you, Jennifer. The message is, hi, Phil. Crazy question. Will you ever write a song to get Percy off the bridge? Also, how is your helper working out? Take care. So thank you for that. And I don't know, maybe in the future, who knows? I never say never, but Percy is just going to be stuck on that bridge at least for a little while longer. And oh, and somebody said at the beginning of the live stream, what a cover to open the live stream with. But Percy Johnson, that's one of my songs. It's not a cover. The first song I play is always an original song, and later on in the live streams, that's when we have the cover video, which, by the way, tonight is a battle between The Boys Are Back in Town, which is in the lead, and I was going to say Parisian Walkways, but it's not. It's Behind Blue Eyes. That I'm just going to check that is correct. It was Behind Blue Eyes. So yeah, whichever one of those you want to hear my version of later on in the live stream, then make sure that you vote for that at the top of the live chat room. So yeah, thank you for that, Jennifer. Yeah, my helper is working out quite well so far, but there's so much to go through and so much to do and to try and explain that, yeah, it's just going to take a bit of time for things to really kind of get rolling on with being able to designate lots of stuff. But even still, I think a lot of the messages that I get are the kinds of messages that only I can answer anyway. So yeah, that's kind of one part of it. It's very difficult that, yeah, the request side of things, I mean, those can all kind of go through automatically. And I'm thinking of maybe just having a standard reply to the requests, because at the moment I'm still replying to requests, and then when some people send me a message about a performance and they say, what do you think about this, about a particular performance, and I can't do an analysis video as a reply for an email. So when people are asking me what I think about something, it means that I have to spend a long time typing, and there are just too many messages for me to do that kind of response to everyone. So yeah, generally if the messages are quite long, I think I need some kind of standard response, which means that, yeah, I can get the request, but then kind of add it to the list. I'm not going to be able, obviously, as you guys can appreciate, I can't do an analysis for every email that I get. And I mean, even to the point of people who have already had an analysis video made on something that they requested, then wanting multiple requests to then be done is very difficult, because as you can see, I've got almost 500,000 subscribers. So that means if every subscriber wanted 2 requests done, it means that I'd be doing almost 1 million videos. And I mean, even 500,000 videos, do you think I'm never going to get through them all? So yeah, there are a lot of messages, and it's getting to the point now where obviously over on Patreon, that's a little bit different, because I'll always be there and answering messages. But for other sites, then yeah, it's going to be something that I have to maybe have a standard response to, or can try to delegate that all as much as possible. So anyway, let's jump back into that super chat window, because we had a donation from Elaine, who donated $2. So thank you for that in the messages. Maybe you're AI, Phil, and they figured you out. So thank you for that. And maybe the identification thing. Yeah. I don't know, but they did make me do a puzzle to prove that I was human, but it's all irrelevant anyway. So once you've completed the puzzle, it says, yes, you are human. And then they send you the number, and then they say, oh, it didn't match. But it did. So, Jeff has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that. And Jeff says, do you have a favorite guitarist out of the ones listed below that played with Ozzy? Tony, Randy, Bernie, Brad, Gills, Jake, Zach Wild, Gus G. You have an awesome channel. Best from New York City. So thank you for that, Jeff. And I mean, I think, I don't know, I think I'd answer like most people. Well, I assume maybe most people, most guitarists, maybe not. But I would say Randy. I mean, I did a video on Randy like ages ago, like years and years ago. But the thing about Randy as a guitarist, but also I guess to a particular extent as well, the Zach Wild. But I mean, I'd say Zach Wild was, and you know, in terms of the playing style, is more wild. yeah, his name is very apt. But yeah, going back to Randy and the way that he played, his playing was so interesting, because obviously he had that technical ability, but having his background in classical guitar and playing lines and runs, and obviously having that classical technique and ability to play super clean. And this is something that I say on my channel all the time about, you know, playing classical guitar but playing acoustic guitar as well. If somebody's playing lead on either of those, really, you don't have anywhere to hide. Your technique has got to be absolutely spot on. So the fact that, yeah, Randy kind of started like that and then kind of fell into playing, you know, what would be kind of hard rock, and, you know, applying distortion to his guitar, and obviously, you know, playing with Ozzy, his sound was just interesting because of that background, because of the way that he learned to play, but then how he was applying his lines to another genre. Effectively, you've got techniques from one genre going into another genre, and I'd say there are a lot of guitarists who start out playing with loads of distortion, and they might not necessarily have the technique, and the distortion might be hiding a lot of things that are maybe shortcomings in technique. But obviously Randy was not like that. He started just absolutely, you know, perfect with technique, because you know that's what you had to have if you're playing classical guitar. But it was also something that I think I did say in that video, how it would have been interesting to see where he went in his career, because he was kind of so good, and you know, obviously he has so much future ahead of him to, you know, take it in totally different areas, but because of the way that he played. So yeah, I'd say Randy, and then yeah, it's difficult, but I'd probably then say, well, yeah, Randy first, and then maybe Zach second. I'm not going to go through a list putting them all above and below. I don't ever do lists of guitarists because every guitarist is different, and each is better on his own merits. And when I say better, it's all subjective. So what I like, you might not like. Like some people might not like the way that Randy played, but yeah, it's something that I don't think when you see these lists, and actually they're pretty much always like the top 100 guitarist lists, that I don't know why they totally ignore country players, and especially old school country players who had technique like I'm talking about, that they're playing on an acoustic guitar, and they're generally playing it on a telly as well, Fender telly. So there's nowhere to hide with their playing, their tone, everything that you're hearing. And yeah, even the Glenn Campbell, for example, who was known as a singer, but just singer and guitarist, but I don't think people necessarily appreciated how amazing he was at playing the guitar. So yeah, anyway, getting a little bit sidetracked, but thank you for that, Jeff. Right, now I am going to attempt to look at my phone to get these donations, and we had one from JR who donated £20, so thank you for that. And I can't get this on the screen, so I'm having to scroll down to see if there's a message, because for some reason the messages are at the bottom now, but there's a straight up donation. Thank you for that. And Bryony has donated £5. Thank you for that. And that's a straight up donation as well. Oh, this is going to be difficult to keep my place as to where I've got to. Oh, have I skipped over one? I think I have. So the next one was Nicole, who donated £22. So thank you for that, Nicole. And there is a message with this. It says, "Hello, Phil. I wish a great weekend and congrats for 494,000 followers. Kiss rock always." So thank you for that. And I think when it's on the screen, I can go from one to the next to the next. Whereas here, as soon as I come out of an email, it goes back to the inbox. So then I've got to get back to where I was. But anyway, the next one, Karen donated £5 and 36 pence. Thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, "Hi Phil, congrats on hitting 494,000 subscribers. Just curious, I've sent you DMs some time ago and got no replies, so I emailed you at your Hotmail address, and again no reply. Just wondering if there are Patreon and or other issues on your end that are keeping you from seeing your messages. I fully understand that you're busy, so I'm not blaming you. Thanks for all you do. Cheers, Karen." So thank you for that. And right, I mean, yeah, just getting through the messages, especially actually the Wings of Pegasus. What was that? Wings of Pegasus at hotmail.com. Pretty much keeping up with that is a near impossibility for me, because that's just a mess, that inbox. So this is why I always tend to put people or turn people into the direction of the Wings of Pegasus contact page, or phil@wingsofpegasus.com. Or if you are a patron, as Karen is, you can message me directly over there. But I mean, as I've been saying, getting through the messages does take me some time, so you'll probably have to have a little bit of patience. I mean, sometimes if there is a message that I might read through and I might write a reply, but then something else pops up and I get distracted from that particular screen that I'm looking at, and then the other thing I then start, it might be a problem with a video, like a copyright claim or something. Then I have to fill out the dispute form, and once I've done that, then there'll be another comment that comes in, and then my attention has been taken away from that. So yeah, I think the message that you wrote whenever it was in the past. It's probably one of those cases that I get distracted kind of answering lots of things all at the same time, and I write a reply and then forget to press send. But there are other times where it's difficult, because I sometimes get messages where somebody writes something and there's no question in there, and there's nothing really to reply to. So I always don't really know what to write, because I generally just go with thanks, exclamation mark, because there hasn't been a particular question or anything that's, maybe asking me about music or guitar techniques or anything like that. So yeah, if there aren't any questions in the message, then sometimes I just don't know what to write. So that's another problem. But I will get through the messages, as I said, kind of this weekend, hopefully. So I know I'm still at least a few days behind, but maybe by next week I will be up to date. But thank you for that. And we had another donation here, and this is from is this a CD order? It might be a CD order. Right, let me skip through that. And Barbara has donated £8, so thank you for that, Barbara. And that is a straight up donation as well. And I think now we are up to date in the PayPal window, or at least we are as up to date as I can get, because I don't know whether it updates itself or not. Like if something else comes through, whether it will just appear at the top of the screen. But we will find out. Anyway, I can see Elaine just popped in to the super chat window with a $5 donation. Thank you for that. And the message is, you dropped your laptop during a reply to me once. The reply was so funny. And I remember that. I was typing and I dropped the laptop, but I dropped it, but I grabbed it, but I still dropped it. So it meant that while I was grabbing the laptop, I must have brushed across lots of letters and the enter button. So then, Elaine got got lots of random letters, just gobbledygook answer. So then I had to reply again and say, apologies for that. That was me dropping my laptop and making a mess. But thankfully, the laptop survived, and then I could at least answer, because if it had broken, that would have been a little bit more difficult, because Elaine might have thought that I've gone a bit crazy. But yeah, anyway, thank you for that, Elaine. There you go. There is proof that I do answer the messages, even when I'm dropping things. And I think that's happened on probably more than a few of the CDs, because with the CDs that are ordered through my website, and by the way, I'm still waiting for the restocking of my CD, because it's taking ages. I've had to redo all of the designs and everything like that. And then, like a couple of days ago, they sent me an email saying, there's like a line that they can see on the design that shouldn't be there, but it's really faint. So they didn't go into printing until they wanted to contact me to then say, there's a line, so do you want to take that out before we start printing the CDs? So anyway, so the other day I was back to looking at all of the files, and this particular line, this anomaly on one of my pictures, goes back years. That this particular picture has had a line on it for years. So anyway, I went to that picture, and it's always interesting because the email said, you might want to get your graphic design team to have a look at this particular picture because it's got a line on it. And obviously I don't say, it's just me. I'm my own graphic designer. So, and this is the problem again with keeping up with everything. When there's a job like that where there would be a team or maybe somebody who's an expert at doing that then sorts it out, that's something that now I have to do. So everything else gets put on hold while I'm trying to get rid of a line on a picture. So yeah, that took me a few hours to do, but I did that. Now it's all sent off, and hopefully it will be sorted, and the CDs will be back in stock. But anyway, back to my point, that sometimes with the signed CDs, when I am signing the CD, the pen doesn't work, or then the pen does work. Generally, it's all right, but sometimes when you do a signature, it might start okay and then run out and then come in again, so it looks really weird, and then you try and do it over the top again, so now you get double lines and it's an absolute mess. And sometimes I write on the CD, apologies for the signature, because the pen ran out halfway through and I had to go over the top again. So there are some very unique CDs out there where that has happened, which are just one of a kind. So the CDs that are signed are one of a kind. That's, I guess, the point of them being signed. But anyway, let me skip this advert before it comes into the live stream. Hopefully I got that one there in time. So let's have a look at the vote for tonight's cover video. The boys are back in town has 54% of the vote at the moment. If you want to hear Behind Blue Eyes, then vote for that one, obviously, at the top of the live chat room. So yeah, just another thing quickly, and it's not, I guess it's not really a troll corner thing. It could be a troll corner thing, but not really a troll corner thing, because following the sad news of Ozzy Osbourne's death, people have obviously watched the video that I made before Ozzy's death, and I don't know why, but for some reason either the video gets suggested in people's feeds, and it's getting suggested, very late on, or maybe only in the last few days or something. I don't know how it works. And maybe it's people that aren't subscribed that then get a particular video that's suggested to them. But unfortunately, people aren't checking the upload date of my video, and they think that I'm now saying that Ozzy's voice has been pitch corrected after his death in order to try and get views and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've had to reply to a few people saying check the date of the upload, because I released this video before Ozzy had actually passed away. So it's nothing to do with releasing a video after his death or anything like that. And I know that there are channels that do that and have done that and give their own tribute to Ozzy, and yeah, it's not something that I tend to do, just because I'd rather I didn't know Ozzy personally. I have no personal connection, or had no personal connection with him, so I think doing a video where I don't have that contact, I think, well, yeah, it's not really my place really to say anything other than what I said in the analysis video, which actually it's still, I know that I did say something on the last live stream, and I think the live stream is fine because obviously people ask about it and comment about it in the live chat room, so it's a good place to address that kind of thing. But then to do a designated video, I don't have anything really that I can say other than what I've said in the live stream. And a lot of the points that I made in the analysis video, about it just being an amazing show, and him and Black Sabbath being such a huge influence on other bands at the time, and all that stuff still, and raising so much money for charity, it all still is absolutely relevant. So being relevant in that video, and it's still relevant now. And I did say, what an amazing thing to do for that to be your sign off to do such an amazing thing for charity and for the world, and for music. But yeah, I don't really feel it's my place to do a video, so this is why that video, I just had to tell people that it was released before, so it's not me trying to jump on any bandwagon for views or anything like that. And that video, of course, was requested multiple times, and I think I did reference that message where somebody said, oh, why did you do this video? You should have left it alone. Obviously they don't watch my channel and don't realize that I'm not choosing the videos, they are requested, and when lots of them come through at the same time, I tend to do those to then put an end to all of the emails that are coming through and then move on with my request list. But anyway, let's have a look at the likeometer. We are closing in on 400 likes at the moment. We need 4 more people to hit the thumbs up, And if you haven't hit that thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated if you could do that, because if we get to 430, then we will bust out the guitar and have a jam with Phil Jam number 253. That's the backing track for tonight. And let me go to the inbox here and click on the down button to see that, oh, tonight's backing track is 8 minutes and 58 seconds. That means we're going to have to almost start in a few minutes' time. It's not quite that severe, but we will have to leave enough time for that by the end of the live stream. So what we have is picture corner. We've got, I think, a couple of pictures to take a look at, even though, you know, we've just had a bit of a picture corner from Lita's show on Thursday night with you know, Jeff. But picture corner and the cover video for tonight. I'm not sure when we should jump into that, but oh, Karen has donated $5 in the super chat window, so thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, glad to hear your laptop survived. I saw Ozzy in concert during his Ultimate Sin tour. Maybe you'd consider a tribute video. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. And I mean, yeah, again, it's not something that I tend to do. If you know, I know that people requested back in the day, you know, years and years ago, you know, when somebody had passed away, I would do a video on it. But yeah, I think the problem with that was that sadly that it started to go through. Oh, and that's another thing. It was Hulk Hogan was the other one that I heard of. Obviously, you know, I wouldn't do Hulk Hogan on the channel, but just someone from my childhood and from WWF wrestling, and you know, him and you know, the Ultimate Warrior and all that kind of stuff. So that's another one that, yeah, it was I guess unexpected, but you know, you kind of forget that that's the deal with this thing. This life thing, that there is an end to it. So yeah, it's very sad news that he had passed away as well. But yeah, it got to the point where on the channel there, because I, you know, make a few videos a week, there were points at which there were multiple, because I cover so many different artists and genres, there were multiple people sadly that had passed away. So I did one video, and then the next video was another one, and the next video was another one, and I think the next video was another one. So it's almost like a week and a half of yeah, it became a bit depressing, kind of, you know, seeing all of these great musicians and, you know, members of bands passing away. And yeah, so I thought I'd take a bit of a back seat, and especially when it's something where I don't have that personal connection to the person that might have passed away. And yeah, it's that fine line. And the last thing I want to do is, yeah, start releasing videos for the sake of releasing the videos. I'd rather kind of have something that I can add to, you know, that person's story potentially, or have a story that I can add to it. But yeah, just making a video like when other people are making videos, obviously everyone else can do exactly what they want to do, but I think for me personally, I just, you know, say what I have said on the live streams, and yeah, move things forward on the channel with the requests and the normal videos that I do. But yeah, thank you for that, Karen. And oh, there's another donation. Barbara's donated $2. Thank you for that. And the message is, can you do Walker Brothers? So thank you for that. And generally, what does help if people are making requests, and you can make the request through requests@wingsofpegasus.com. If you email to there, then it does help if there's a particular performance or song that you have in mind for the analysis video. Because generally when people email and say, oh, can you do that? Or can you do this band or that artist? It's just such an open request. Generally, like with the analysis videos, you'll see that when I introduce them, sometimes I say that tonight's request has been, sent in to take a look at this, and it's a particular performance, and sometimes it might even be a performance and another performance or crowd shot footage, maybe 2, 3, 4 videos, links that I've been sent. So it is a specific request to look into all of the stuff that I'm sent. So the kind of more general request of saying, oh, can you look at this, it does help if there's something that I can dive into, like if there's an actual performance or audio that I can at least kind of get stuck into, rather than I try to avoid me choosing stuff to analyze. I'd rather people did send me and request particular performances of bands and artists, because then obviously it makes my life a lot easier, because then it's just a genuine request that's come through, and I kind of want to eliminate the subjectivity of me actually choosing stuff. So the answer is yes. If you want to send me a link to any performance to requests at wingsofpegasus.com, then you can do. Thank you for that. Barbara Orlando's donated $2. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is hit that thumbs up button even after the goal is reached. So thank you for that, Orlando. And it is a great idea, but we're still needing 9 more thumbs up to get us to the total. I think we might make it. Fingers crossed. 8 more people now. And My Vocal Journey's donated $5 as well. So thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, who do you think the better guitar player was, Jake E. Lee or Zach Wilde? So thank you for that. And the thing is, because I've already been asked about the guitarists in, who played with Ozzy, because I've already said that Zach technically would have been, maybe behind Randy, and I've already said that I don't rank guitarists, because they're all their own animal. Everyone plays guitar differently. They've all got their own sound. So I'd have to go for Zach, over Jake, but again, it's all subjective. It doesn't really mean anything. Every guitarist has their own appeal to particular audiences. It really depends what you're into, and I don't tend to put one guitarist against another guitarist, because there are loads of people that I've met, and even musicians that I've met, and guitarists that I've met, who haven't been into Jimi Hendrix and didn't like his sound or the way that he played, but Jimi Hendrix was the first guitarist that I heard that then made me want to start playing guitar, because I thought what he did was just amazing, and his control of feedback and everything that he could do that other guitarists seem to not really be able to do. But again, that's just subjectivity. So even though people might say that he's the best player ever, or they'll pick some other guitarist who's the best player ever, and there's the famous quote, which is the most used quote ever, where the names are just put in, different names are put in, where it goes like this: in an interview, and it was like, insert guitarist name here. In an interview, that guitarist was asked, how does it feel to be the best player in the world? And that guitarist answers, I don't know, ask, and then you insert another guitarist's name. So I've seen all of the guitarists like in that quote, because in my comment section, obviously there's quite a lot of comments, so you see all of the variations of it. So you'll have like an interviewer asked Eddie Van Halen, how does it feel to be the best guitarist in the world? And he said, I don't know, ask Roy Clark. And like Eric Clapton is another one that pops up, and Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Steve Vai, and Joe Satriani. Loads of different names of guitarists that are put in this particular quote, and people have heard one version of it and they think that was a genuine quote because it gets spread around, but they don't realize that there's loads of versions of this quote. Prince as well, I've seen, like for example, you know, Eric Clapton being asked, how does it feel to be the best player in the world? He says, I don't know, ask Prince. So yeah, loads of different variations of it. So I've seen every single variation of it, I think. Anyway, oh, there's something that just popped up here, and I did notice it. It's Angela who has donated £10 and 65 pence in the PayPal inbox. So thank you for that. And the message is in memory of Chuck Mangione, who just passed a couple days ago. He was a brilliant jazz composer, producer, etc., who wrote a mega score for a movie, Children of Sanchez, that was never made, but the music sold millions of copies. Rest in peace, Chuck. Angela. So thank you for that, and just to make sure that everything is up to date here. Right, I think it is up to date in the PayPal window. So we are going to be jumping into tonight's cover video, or I've been rambling on a little bit too much because we need to leave time for the Phil Jam, which we will be having at the end of the live stream because we've hit that target. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. Oh, and Picture Corner as well. Okay, so let's end the poll. It looks like The Boys Are Back in Town is going to be the winning cover video for tonight. So I hope you guys enjoy this, my version of the classic, of course, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock! we have it. That was my version of The Boys Are Back in Town. The Thin Lizzy classic, of course. So thank you guys for voting for that as tonight's cover video. And we are going to be jumping into Picture Corner and then into the Phil Jam. But there have been a couple of donations. So thank you for this. Orlando, $5. Rest in peace, Chuck Mangione. He was a Buffalo, New York native and helped stylize the smooth jazz sound. Thank you for that. And Orlando donated $2 again and says, did you throw in extra distortion for that cover? So I don't think extra distortion. It tended to be what I consider, not an overly heavy sound. It's probably bordering on just past what I call like a crunchy tone. So you still need the clarity. This is it. That in the verses you just have the single strums. So that's all right. You can just kind of let it ring out a bit, but you don't want it to be too heavy because it would be too far from the original sound. So I would say it tended to be a little bit cleaner than most of the other covers that I've got, but that's because of kind of where it came from. I think there's going to be more distortion in my cover than the original because that's just kind of what I tend to do, and that's my kind of guitar sound, which would be exactly the same guitar sound that I always have, going through the same amplifier. That's what I use behind me, and I think what I've used on all of the covers, so they will get the same kind of guitar sound. But anyway, Karen donated $2. Thank you for that, and says, Phil, looked like you had a blast doing that cover. So thank you for that. And it's a good one because generally if there's a song that I really like anyway, then it's enjoyable to perform that one because Phil being such a great Phil Lynott being such a great bassist and singer, and his style of singing, the way that he kind of spoke and sang at the same time is really difficult to do. So trying to get all the words in at the right time because there are so many words and it's not really singing, it's more talking. So it's a bit of a challenge. But anyway, let's jump into Picture Corner and see what's going on in there. Now, as for, this should work. Let's see if I can choose this. I've double clicked on something which I didn't want to do. But, here we go. Here's Orlando. And let me find the message with this. Orlando said, on my way out the door for work. So thank you for that, Orlando. And there's another one. Here we have a picture from Nikki, and Nikki says, it was too warm during the day to wear the Wings of Pegasus hoodie at Hairfest, the mother of all tributes festivals, but it came in handy later in the evening. So thank you for that, Nikki, and thank you, Laura, for linking me to those pictures. But that's Picture Corner for tonight. So let's try and get this back to me, and here I am. So right, mic on. It's Strat. I think the Strat's just been plugged in for loads of live streams in a row. And right, that's, I can hear that and I can see a bit of a signal going on, so hopefully that's working. Let's click on this. Oh no, I clicked on the wrong button. Okay, right, I think I'm going to go back because I clicked on, oh no, I tried to click on the mute to stop the advert sound coming across the live stream to everybody at home, but I clicked on the wrong button, and it's I think loaded up another backing track that I don't know whether this is the backing track that Joe sent. So I'm going to re-click on his link, and I tell you what's happening here. We could be here quite a while. So it loads up and all of the icons are where they are. I go to click on mute and as soon as I'm about to click it, the icons now move because it's loaded differently and it skips to another track. So I'm just going to just let this play. Oh, and then it doesn't have an advert. Okay, so this is definitely the track that Joe sent me. Yeah, it is 8 minutes and 58 seconds. And it's heavy rock guitar backing track, G minor. Okay, we're going to give this a go on a Fender Strat to see what it sounds like. I can't hear anything for some reason. If you can let me know what the levels are like with you, that would be good. I can hear my voice really clearly, like echoing through the microphone. Oh, this is heavy for a Strat. Can you hear this? Turning up a little bit because maybe it's a bit quiet. Well, let me get this so I can actually do something. And there we have it. Okay, so yeah, sudden ending there, but I could see on the screen that something was about to suddenly end, because I could see the little red dot is right at the right end of the video, which means it's suddenly going to stop. So there we have it. That was Heavy Rock Guitar Backing Track G minor from YT Jam Tracks, and that's YT in capital letters and Jam Tracks, capital J, capital T. There you go, Heavy Rock on the Fender Strat, which, yeah, hopefully we kind of got away with that. Not sure if we did. So, thank you, Joe, for sending that my way. That was Phil Jam number 253. I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night, so look out for that, 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. That's when I aim to release my videos. I'll be here with another live stream Tuesday night, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, as always. If you could join me then, it'll be much appreciated, because we're going to be aiming for another likes goal, probably around 430 or 435, so we need as many people to turn up again as possible. So I think there's been another donation in the super chat window. Let me just check on my phone. It doesn't refresh or anything. I think we're up to date there. But Jennifer donated $5. Thank you for that. The message is, Phil, someone wanted to know how you got that quadruple exposure of you on that video you just did. Thanks. I'm trying to skip an advert, and I'm getting the rainbow circle, the never-ending circle. I don't. It's not letting me skip that advert. Oh, there we go. It's just loaded. So, in the video, it means you just copy yourself and put yourself 4 times in the video. So it's just video editing. That's because I do everything myself. I do all the video editing, all the filming, all the playing, and as you can see here, all the jamming and all these different things that you can see on screen. So yeah, I do everything myself, and with that, it's just a case of taking the same video, and either the same video I might have shot different angles, maybe, I can't remember, but then you take one video, copy and paste it under, copy and paste it under, copy and paste it under, so now you've got your 4 layers, and then you just transform that video into each corner, line it up, make it look as professional as you can, and that's how you do that. So thank you for that. Orlando donated $2 and said, any football matches this weekend? And yes, it is the Euros final, England against Spain. So hopefully we can win that tomorrow. So I will be attempting to watch that. So thank you for that. And thank you everybody for watching tonight and just interacting with the channel and myself in general. It is very much appreciated. But all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!